Ladies and gentlemen, pandemonium has set in. The training camp train has left the station, and I'm ready to get on board, man. 10 guys that are having stellar camps so far through the first week of training camp. Now, we're just getting into padded practices. We had actual real life football with Carson Beck actually, playing and playing well. And we're going to have the start of everyone else's preseason games this up and coming Thursday. With that said, take everything with a grain of salt, but these are the 10 guys that, hey, word on the street, these guys are rising in value like crazy. And I actually specifically, a lot of guys are rising in value. These are the 10 guys I'm out there buying, putting in offers for. I think that this, value increase is not necessarily flow. We're going to talk about all of them. So let's talk about Cyrus Allen, number one. Kansas City Chiefs, 5th rounder. Is he the next Puka Nacua? Realistically here, guys, I got bad news. This would have to be an insane rag to riches story, not really seen before outside of Puka Nacua. Cyrus Allen has a long ways to go. Now, what's the buzz on this Cyrus Allen fella? Again, he's not the fastest, not the most athletic, but he's been shining early on. Again, you have Rashee Rice in the prison league. You have Xavier Worthy. He's always injured. Wide receiver 3 is wide open. Now, yes, the Chiefs brought back Tyquan Thornton. That's all right. You have Jalen Royals in the mix. Guys, wide receiver 3 is super wide open here, and there's some good news for Cyrus Allen, right? So the Chiefs, the headline here is that they see shades of Stefon Diggs in Cyrus Allen. Cyrus Allen was so good, everyone went crazy when he got a quick little shin bruise injury. Everybody freaked out like the Chiefs season was over. That's a good sign. Now, he was heavily targeted by Patrick Mahomes. Now, we've only seen 1 or 2 practices so far where he's actually been in pad. So we should temper expectations, pump the brakes. But more good news is this. Patrick Mahomes' expected points added in man coverage situations was 34th in the league. He was trash. Then you have Cyrus Allen, who had a +3 yards per route run against man coverage in his final collegiate season. He's good against man coverage. Mahomes struggles against man coverage. It's a match made in heaven. The Chiefs and Andy Reid. Andy Reid said Mahomes trusts him. And then you have people in the Chiefs organization saying that Cyrus Allen will be involved in their offense. All of that to say, he's ranked 350th in the rankings. A lot of leagues, he didn't get drafted in rookie drafts. A lot of leagues, he's on waivers. He didn't pass waivers for me. Now, I'm the only idiot that went out there and put a bid out on Cyrus Allen. I spent 10% of my fab, and the fab doesn't reset. I actually am aboard this Cyrus Allen train. When you're with Mahomes, somebody that can support fantasy production, you have Prison League Rice, who can't stay healthy. You have Xavier Worthy, who can't stay healthy. Even if he's wide receiver 4, you got 2 wide receivers ahead of him in Worthy and Rice. I don't know if they're going to stay healthy. So go out there, and yes, I'm willing to trade. I'm willing to trade a 5th round pick or later. I'm not a delusional psycho. I'm not paying more than that. With that said, the names of guys that he is currently around on the rankings: Ty Felton, Will Levis, Treylon Burks. Yeah, we'll see you later. I'll take Cyrus Allen over them every single day of the week. Let's see how he does now that the pads are on in actual game action. Name number 2, and we got, 4 rookies today, 6 non-rookies, and go check out the Discord, man. Join that for free team reviews, trade advice. I'll let you boys know what you should be paying for these players in your specific team. Go check it out for free in the description. Stefon Diggs. Diggs is the second name right here. Now, is he a training camp riser, or is he just a riser because he finally found a home? Everybody thought, guess who's coming home? Brandon Ayuk. He's going to Washington. He's finally out of San Fran. Nope. This is huge news. Perhaps the most underrated news, too. I feel like people weren't reacting to this Stefon Diggs headline nearly enough. Guys, he's ranked 190th in Dynasty. That's fine. That's fair. He is a contending team's dream. Now, I'm not saying you want to start Stefon Diggs, but I'm saying he does have immediate flex upside. Now, taking a look at what he said here. Basically, Stefon Diggs said that, hey, I'm the best wide receiver 2 in the league, and I view myself as a wide receiver 1. That's a grounded view of reality. Now, he's 32 years old. That's old. But last year, in a Drake May system, he posted over 1,000 receiving yards. That's great. And if you look at the underlying numbers, guys, it really came down to a lack of targets. He had 6 targets a game, which is kind of mid. He was efficient. He caught 5 of his 6 targets on average per game, had 60 yards. His yards per target was 10 yards per target, 20% target share. Jaden Daniels can support excellent fantasy production. Him and McLaurin had that insane season his rookie year. Now, a lot of that was downfield, stretching the field, deep threat situations. But we saw that Zach Ertz had fantasy relevant with Jaden Daniels. We know what Jaden Daniels can be. And everybody was on the Antonio Williams train. And I am still aboard that train a little bit, but it's a lot less appealing now that Stefon Diggs, again, the concept in people's mind for Antonio Williams was that, oh man, there's nobody else in the room. Antonio Williams is going to be a slot god. He'll get so many targets. Yeah, if we're going to apply that logic to him, we should now be applying that to Stefon Diggs, who in redraft leagues is way low, but in Dynasty specifically, I think he's going to have a good year. I think we're going to see 12 points per game again. Not sexy, not great, but his price is so low that I'll take that flex spot assurance. Is that a word? Flex spot assurance that I can get somebody that will be there and be reliable with upside too. Like he could be even better than that. It'll probably just be volatile, to be honest. But best ball Dynasty, I'm in on Diggs. Number 3, let's go with another vet-ish. Chase Brown. Chase Brown is a stud. Chase Brown is a stud. We already know that I have been in on Chase Brown all offseason long since January, and his price continues to rise in all formats. The news about Chase Brown is that everybody's raving about him. We're going to see that with another guy later on, Josh Downs, but everybody's raving about how good Chase Brown is. They're saying he trains as a wide receiver in the offseason. And the big headline that I like, obviously we're going to get the ball in Jamar Chase's hands. He's our number 1. But I think that a close second is Chase Brown because of how explosive he is and what he can do with the ball in his hands. So there's also some buzz that he's going to be out there lining up as a wide receiver. And for those of you thinking that's the dumbest I've ever heard in my life, take a look at what he did last year in week 9, 14 targets. Yeah, so this is somebody that he's shown that he can handle that big receiving target share. He did it last season. Now, granted, I think that was with Joe Flacco, but him and Joe Burr, he was still getting 5 targets a game or more on average. And, in Dynasty, what's the only thing holding me back right here? I'm all aboard. Chase Brown's having 17 plus points per game this season. That's just a given. With that said, contract year. Can the Bengals afford to keep Chase Brown in this offense? Last time they paid a running back, Joe Mixon, it did not go well. Their defense is terrible. Their offense is already the most expensive in the league. I don't know if they can afford to pay Chase Brown. You do have a good running back draft class in 2027 coming up. I really hope that Chase Brown gets a contract by Labor Day and the start of the season. Why? The good news is that the running back market's hot. JT extended. You got a couple other guys, Bijan, Gibbs, getting what they wanted. Can we see Chase Brown get a nice extension before the year starts? That would be massive, right? Like we're probably going to see a 3-year deal here for Chase Brown. We saw Breece Hall do something similar. So I'm loving the Chase Brown training camp situation. We just need an extension to really solidify his role as a top 50 dynasty asset moving forward, not just for this year, but the next 3 seasons. I really like the opportunities he's going to be getting as a receiver. Number 4, this is 2 rookies. So I'm pairing these guys out. There might be 11 guys in this video. I think there is. But these 2 rookies right here, both are playing for the wide receiver 2 spot, you might think. So these guys are Malachi Fields and Zachariah Branch. Looking at Malachi Fields, this guy basically is, the buzz is that, he's a downfield threat, and he's got a chance to immediately make his presence as the wide receiver 2 in the Giants offense. That's the big training camp storyline. Malachi Fields, wide receiver 2. You look into who said that. It's some guy from The Athletic. Come on. It's not like you had Harbaugh come out and say he's the wide receiver 2. I could say this guy's wide receiver 2, and you're not going to believe me. The good news here is that basically another headline is that, Malachi Fields, he's got good speed. He's out there making plays downfield, but he's also 6'4", 223 pounds. And Jalen Hyatt caught a stray. Unlike Jalen Hyatt, this guy is 6'4", 220 pounds. He can run underneath routes and be physical at the contested point of catch. So that's good buzz right there. There is a reason that I am kind of fading expectations here for Fields. Now, if you think that Malik Neighbors is going to be injured this season, limp into the season, get injured throughout the season, whatever, then yes, go take a shot on Fields. It's a lot more appealing. I still am a realist. I think Malachi Fields will be the 4th option in this offense. And the 2 options ahead of him, obviously there's 3, but 2 of the options that will be ahead of him over Neighbors, We're not going to cover Darnell Mooney in this video, but I do think Mooney will be ahead of him. And then the other option is Isaiah Likely. We'll get to Isaiah Likely later on, but to be honest, I'll just tell you right now for free, the real alpha wide receiver is going to be Isaiah Likely behind Malik Neighbors. So, wide receiver 2? Yeah, but really the wide receiver 2 is going to be Isaiah Likely. We'll talk about him later on. The second guy is from the Falcons. Very similar here, but you have a third-round wide receiver go to the Falcons here. A lot less competition. You have Olamide Zaccheaus. You have Jahan Dotson. Now, the quarterback play sucks. I'm going to be honest with you, the quarterback play is not great. But Zachariah Branch, you think he's more of a slot type guy. He's making downfield plays in training camp. He looks good. Now, there is bad news. Basically, the bad news here for Zachariah Branch is that he is going to, he looks agile. He looks fast. That's great. The problem here is that he's probably going to be playing primarily F spot wide receiver, basically in the slot. And who's getting most of the reps in training camp right now? If you look at the reps in that spot, it's actually Olamide Zaccheaus, still ahead of him basically on the depth chart. That means that Zachariah Branch is still behind in the pecking order, which is expected from a rookie, which is where you really need to dial in your TV to watch how the Falcons do in the preseason games. This is somebody that could be a big-time riser, big-time faller. You want to see him ball out and really earn his way to earn more reps in training camp and really find his way to wide receiver 2, which I think he will do. And I think it's going to be a solid spot for Branch. So I actually, I don't believe as much in Fields, but I believe a lot in Zachariah Branch to earn that wide receiver 2 spot straight up. Let's go with Carson Beck. This will be the final rookie of the video, I believe. Carson Beck came out, balled out. Man, this guy looked good. Everyone's saying, get Carson Beck into the starting role. Yeah, I got bad news. Bad news, Brissett. This guy's getting paid $15.5 million, guaranteed, I think. And then it's like upwards to $21 million or more with like, some of the contract incentives or whatever you want to call it. Now, the good news here for Beck, he looked good. He had a nice little sidearm pass as well in the Hall of Fame game. And he looked really solid, 15 of 19, 190-ish yards. And he had a touchdown, 2 passes completed over 35 yards. Hip, hip, hooray. Carson Beck is 157th in the ranking. Pretty low. He's still barely ahead of Drew Aller in the rankings. And if you can get Carson Beck for the price of Chigakonkwo, you can trade a Rashid Shaheed, a Dallas Goedert. Good luck getting that deal done now that everybody saw him in the preseason game. I doubt the guy that has him is going to want to trade him. That's why you want to buy these guys in advance. Brissett is going to start. Listen, snap out of it. Brissett's starting. Follow the money. Now, the good news here for Carson Beck fans is he looked good, number one. Number two, Jacoby Brissett is 2-15. Yes, that's right. 2 wins, 15 losses in the last 2 years. Not exactly good. And I've been saying all year long, Brissett is not going to make it past 3/4 of the way in the season. He's not. They're going to get Beck in there at some point. That's going to hurt every receiver stock because I think Brissett can support fantasy production. We saw it with Michael Wilson. But yeah, keep an eye on Carson Beck. Obviously, a huge riser from the Hall of Fame game. It's the worst time to buy, right? This is simple stock mechanics. Everybody wants a stock when it's going up. Nobody wants it when it goes down. Don't buy Carson Beck when his stock is at an all-time high. Let it die down. Again, Brissett's getting paid. Relax. But yeah, his stock, he looked real good. Let's go with Josh Downs. This is somebody I'm actually excited about. Maybe one of the biggest risers of the video right here. Josh Downs. 25 years old. I'm in. I'm actually excited. Now, obviously, I've been predicting all season long, Tyler Warren is going to benefit from the departure of Pittman. And that's true. And Warren's a huge riser as well, but it's implied, so we're not even including him in the video. Josh Downs, though, the headlines about this guy are massive. I'm going out there and I'm trading a 2027 second-round pick for Josh Downs. And you guys know I like the 27 second-round picks a lot. I'm going out there and I'm doing that deal. Shane Steichen has said his role is going to improve this season. He's going to be not only on the inside, again, everyone thinks he's a slot receiver, he'll also be on the outside. Some more motion, some more downfield stuff. That's great. He's having a very good camp. And what's that? Ring, ring. The money's calling. It's a contract year. Josh Downs. This is a quote from the man, the myth, the soon-to-be legend, Josh Downs. I feel like I'm just as good as some of the best guys in the league, and I'm excited for more opportunities. So you got the coaching staff, the actual coach, not some guy from the athletic, the coach. You're going to get more opportunities. And Josh Downs is saying, I'm just as good as Jamar Chase. I'm ready for those. Okay. Surely he's not lying to my face. I'm excited for Josh Downs. I think he could easily replicate his 2024 season where he had, 8 targets a game almost and 57 yards a game. It's not crazy to expect. Without Pittman, someone has to catch the football. Josh Downs, I think we're going to see him as a flex play every single week. Look at his 2024 season, guys. He had, a couple of weeks were basically completely dry, duds of a week. He was 13 points per game majority of the time or higher. Like I'm talking about 15 points per game too. I'm excited about Downs. I got to start making some trade offers for him myself. You guys should as well. All right, let's go to the Jaguars. Back-to-back guys here. Big risers are both of them. Parker the Pest, I'm not going to stop calling him that. And then Brian Thomas Jr. Parker the Pest is cheap. He's right there in price with Josh Downs. And it is time for me to tell you guys, hey, go out there and buy this guy. Look at what he did last year. He averaged 14 points per game in the games that he was playing. He was the real deal. Liam Cohen loves this guy. Trevor Lawrence loves this guy. And it's a contract year. He's looking to get paid. There's already rumblings. When are they going to get this guy an extension? Parker Washington basically pulled a Marvel Avengers Tom Holland. This guy leaked the script. If you're worried about Jacoby Myers, Travis Hunter, Parker's not going to be out there for all the routes. He's going to lose opportunities. No. Parker Washington himself in an interview said, I'm going to be out there on 11, 12, and 13 man personnel, basically implying this guy's not coming off the field unless he wants to. So he's basically wide receiver 2 or better. Okay. And every single training camp day that goes by, he's the best punt returner in the league. This guy's making stud plays as a wide receiver. Everyone's glazing this guy. The glaze on him actually has to chill a little bit. I'm concerned he might be 27 points per game, the way people are talking about him. But with that said, like the price, I like him. And this is where production, it's where usually someone gets this hyped up, their value increases super high. I feel like the value, like the glaze is out of this world. But I feel like the value hasn't really caught up yet. So I go buy him now before, if we see one preseason game where he has a touchdown, this guy's the number 1 asset in all of Dynasty. Just wait. Brian Thomas Jr., I've been saying this really for a long time. This guy's going to bounce back to his rookie year numbers. And here's the quote. I can wrap this up quick. Something was wrong in his rookie season. I don't know if we'll actually ever know what it was. All right, it's kind of weird. Like, cover-ups? Really? What's going on here? But ever since OTAs and through this training camp, he looks like a completely different wide receiver. He looks better than his rookie season. Better than his rookie season. Okay, so 17 points per game, better than that, and he's the wide receiver 1. Do the math. I'm in on Brian Thomas Jr., and I haven't really been out, so yeah, this is one of the best buys in Dynasty still. Him and Parker at the pass, they'll be the 2 options in this wide receiver room. Just mark my words. Final name of the video, let's go back to the Giants. It's Isaiah Likely. Listen, Jim Harbaugh calls his shot, brings Likely over from the Ravens. When he was on the Ravens, Likely was not really an inline tight end. He was basically a slot wide receiver. Now, he was always overshadowed by Mark Andrews. It wasn't really a high passing volume offense. The Giants, coming off of a terrible season where he had 2 targets a game, they gave him a 3-year, $40 million extension. They believe in him. And you have rumblings that he's Dart's favorite option. You have rumblings that he is truly excelling in camp. And then you have the fact, I'm reading articles that they're going to use him as a slot wide receiver. They're going to have Theo Johnson, who actually was respectable last year, and he's a big freak. They're going to have Theo Johnson as an inline tight end. They're going to do a lot of 2 tight end personnel. And they're basically going to treat Isaiah Likely as a slot wide receiver. So if Wan'Dale Robinson just had $80 million because he was so good as a slot wide receiver with Jackson Dart. Again, Wan'Dale Robinson, who, let's go take a look. What did the last Giants slot wide receiver do? Okay, Wan'Dale Robinson, 14 points per game, 9 targets a game, 64 yards a game. So now you have Isaiah Likely, who's 300 pounds heavier, more athletic. I don't want to say more athletic, but like bigger, chunkier. He's going to, run people over, more involved in the red zone. Touchdown rate will be higher. I'm excited for Isaiah Likely. Now, health is a concern, but I don't want to, play that game right here. So Isaiah Likely, his price is super low. His age, he's very young, and we see tight ends sometimes be late bloomers. So I really think that, and this is, if you factor in Neighbors potentially not being there, Isaiah Likely could be the one in this offense. So I'm in on Likely. I still like Fields, but I like Mooney more. So I think it's going to be Neighbors, Likely, Mooney, and then Fields will mix in as a Darius Slayton-esque role. OBJ, your career's over, buddy. So yeah, this was a lot to cover, man. A lot of training camp news. This was a fun video to make. Go join the Discord for free right now. Get free trade advice. You're welcome. Smash like and please. And I think we got to make a video next about who to sell because unfortunately, Emmett Johnson's RB4. Nice.